welcome back to Homie Talk. Those of y'all just joining in, Jonathan, Hassan, Lloyd, pretty much what we got. What you guys know what we do: sit around, talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. Our last topic was about the Tennessee Titans with Vince Young being the new starter and them at 0-6. And we're moving on to our next topic, which is Jamarcus Russell and the comments he made about them losing isn't his fault. Now, Lloyd, is it his fault?
You know, seeing some of, because I don't get to see Raiders games, seeing some of the highlights and some of the plays that he's run, a lot of it can be put on his shoulders. When they played the Jets this past Sunday, he didn't know how to line the team up and lost the fumble on the first snap of their series. He's held the ball for too long in some points. He's made erratic throws a lot. I mean, look at his games. What his best game was the Eagles game, I'm presuming. Maybe it was the first game of the year. But when you see him play, you could put a lot of the blame of their losses, especially on the offensive end, on him. But then again, when he makes the good throw, you can't blame him for his two rookie receivers dropping passes. You can't blame him. You can't blame him for Zach Miller being his only available pass receiver. You can't blame him for Darren McFadden and other running backs getting injured. You can't blame him for pass protections sometimes. It's like if the defense gets a good rush, if you can't blame him for the defense like making that one play. Sometimes, most of the time you can, but there's other times you have to blame receivers for not catching passes or protections breaking down or even the defense making that big play.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. You know, you can't really blame him necessarily for how bad that they are. But you can he's definitely like a big part of their offensive woes. You know, the Raiders are last in passing yards a game. I mean, you know, if his offensive line can keep him upright, you know, maybe he can, I guess, deliver passes. But, you know, he does have receivers that drop passes. So, you know, the blame should be equally distributed. But he could play a whole lot better. And, you know, I think he should just, you know, he should just, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess dedicating himself to becoming a better player.
Because they had a problem with when he fumbled that ball. Every team, their first 15 players are scripted. How do you not know how to line your team up and your first 15 players are scripted?
All right, look. Who cares about lining the team up? Like what I think. They all should know how to line themselves up. Plain and simple. I mean, if they all scripted, look, here's the play. You know, he all he's doing is repeating what they said upstairs. How can you guys, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You guys should be able to, everybody should be able to get themselves lined up. First. Second of all, I do think that he's just a bad quarterback. He doesn't dedicate himself to get better. He's fat, he's slow, he's pathetic. He doesn't hang on the ball a lot. Like, to this day, I want to know how somebody can complete 3 passes for the entire second half. 30 minutes of football and get 1 yard. That's not that. You can't blame that on the receivers. You can't. He's not being smart. He's not good at all. And like I said, you can't. I wanted somebody to give me a exact number on how many times he's been put down because of poor pass protection, not because of him holding the ball too long, not because of him not finding his receivers, not because of him trying to make plays. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can try too hard to make plays, but this dude, he just sits back there, holds the ball, and then he gets sacked. A lot of his sacks is because he's holding the ball too long, like Ben Roethlisberger. The only thing is, Ben Roethlisberger can make something out of nothing. He can't make nothing out of something. And I don't think the blame should be distributed to anybody else but him, because he's really the only person playing very poorly. I mean, even though the receivers drop a couple passes, every receiver drops passes. There's not a single wide receiver I don't think there's ever been a single wide receiver that's gone through the entire season without dropping a pass. Every wide receiver drops passes. He just needs to continue to get them the ball. He is not getting them the ball because he's sitting there just looking stupid like a deer in headlights half the time and getting sacked. And then their running game with Michael Bush, they got 3 running backs, and now, McFadden is hurt. Is Michael Bush hurt?
No, not that I've heard. And Justin Fargas is the starter.
Yeah, they still got 2 of their 3 running backs, and they're not running the ball. And they're putting the game in his hands, and he's obviously not mature enough to have the game put in his hands. And he needs to take responsibility, dog. I made some bad throws. I made poor decisions. I'm not playing how good I should play. I'm the number 1 overall pick of 2007.
7? Okay.
And I haven't played that well.
Yes, it's 2007 because, what's his name? Mario Williams was 2006.
And I haven't played that well. And, he doesn't care because he got that $30 million plus signing bonus, and no matter what he does, no matter if they cut him or not, he's going to get paid $30 million. And that's what I think. And I don't think that he's trying to get better, I even tell, a lot of people that if you want to get better, you're going to get better.
So you got to put the work in
exactly
to get better.
Exactly.
You can't just rely that, because I can throw the ball 80 yards don't mean that I'm the best player on the field. It's like Peyton Manning's one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the league, and he puts in work. Tom Brady, everybody puts in work. Why do you think because you have a big arm, you don't have to do anything?
Exactly, because they paid him to do nothing. And that's what's wrong with players today. They get paid all this money, and their agents are talking to these idiot owners, and they're giving them big signing bonuses. Like, shoot, I'm getting 10% regardless. Agents don't care how well you play.
I'm getting my cut.
So, and then it's like, okay, now everybody is calling you. I'm not even gonna reduce him to the worst quarterback in the NFL, at least starting wise. Starting, backup, anything in the game of football, he is the worst football player in the NFL, and I will say it to his big ass face too. You are the worst football player in the NFL. Why? You're the number 1 overall pick, and you're probably worse than Ryan Leaf. Anyway, guys, give us your comments about Jamarcus Russell. I mean, does he suck as bad as I think he does? I think so, or we all think he does. And those of y'all who might be faithful to him, tell us why he doesn't suck. Maybe you LSU fans or something. Tell us why when he win y'all one big game, all of a sudden he doesn't suck.